Om Shanti. Welcome to Happy World of Avyakti Children Season 3, Day 29. So we have very little angel today with us. Her name is Yevaa and with her parents. So we are very excited, Yevaa, to listen to you. Welcome, angel. Welcome.
Om Shanti Avyakti Parivar.
Om Shanti. Yevaa, what a beautiful name.
My name is Yevaa and I'm 6 years old, and this is my mom, Sheethalben, and my dad, Hoshobai.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy to meet you, Yevaa, and your parents. You look like one happy family. Are you happy? Good. So you have questions for me? All right, so let me hear your questions. I hope they're easy. Please don't ask me difficult questions.
How does Shiv Baba give peace, love, and power?
Okay, and I would love to have that. How do you share Baba's love and power? Is that what you're asking me? Okay, you like to give drishti, don't you? You have big, beautiful eyes. And through those eyes, from one eye, there's Baba's power. And from the other eye, there's Baba's love. And so when I look into your eyes, I don't think of you. I just think of Baba. And then I feel Baba's love and Baba's power coming from you. And you know why that is so? It's because you are so pure. You are so pure that Baba automatically sends his love and power through your eyes to everyone that you look at. Isn't that easy, Yevaa, to do? Good. So now you can do it. Now you do it naturally, right? You don't have to make effort. I think.
That's right.
That's right.
My second question is, how do I want to do swimming, but I'm scared of swimming. So how do I be brave?
Say that again.
Like, I want to do swimming, but I'm scared of doing swimming. So how do I be brave?
Oh my gosh, that was my fear too when I was growing up. I love the water. I love to swim. But anytime I would go into the water that was above my head, I used to get scared. I used to get so scared of this water. But yet, on the one hand, I love the water. And I think that's also happening to you, right? You love the water, but you don't want the water to come over your head. Is that what your fear is? All right. So the thing is, there's always someone with you, right? You're never swimming alone in the water. There is your teacher. There's someone teaching you how to swim when you're in the water, right? So therefore, you have someone there that is looking out for you. So nothing will happen to you in the water. So that's the first thing. Tell yourself, nothing will happen to me because someone is there with me in the water, right? And then, you know how Baba says, I am the ocean of love. So Baba is saying, I'm the ocean of water, right? And you can swim in me. So just start treating the water as Baba being the ocean. And everything my teacher is telling me to do, I will do it because I love the water. And the water is not going to damage me or do me any harm because I have someone looking at me. And that one will always make sure nothing happens to me. So try it that way the next time you go and trust yourself. Say, I can do it. I mustn't be afraid of it. It is not going to do anything to me. But the most important thing is someone is watching me as I'm swimming, so nothing will also happen to me. So you're trusting yourself. You're trusting the water like Baba, the ocean, and you're trusting the person who is looking out for you. So there you have protection at 3 levels. And before you know it, you will be a beautiful swimmer. You will be like moving through the water as though you've never been afraid of it. Could you do that, Yevaa, or you think it's still hard?
I can do it.
Okay, I'm sure you can.
And my third question is, how does Shiv Baba follow us so everywhere? Like when I go to school, when I eat, when I play.
How does Shiv Baba do what?
How does Shiv Baba follow us wherever we go? When I, like for example, when I play, when I eat, when I go to school.
Okay, you know, sometimes Shiv Baba says, I'm like the sun. You know, the sun during the day. And you know, wherever you are, that sun is looking at you. You might be sitting at the window, the sunlight comes through the window, you'll be walking, the sunlight is over you, you know. So the sun is following you all over during the day when there's sunlight. So Baba is a little bit like that, but he is invisible light. You know, the sun you can see, but Baba you can't see. But Baba is like love. He's sending that love to you no matter where you are. And Baba's love is like your shadow. He follows you wherever you are. And his love is looking at you, whatever you're doing. And his love is protecting you. And his love is making you into a beautiful, beautiful star that he wants you to be. So yes, how lucky you are that Baba is following you like the sun. So that's how he does it. And you know why he does it? Because you're special to him. You know, just like your dad and your mom. No matter where you are, they follow you with their love. And they know exactly what you're thinking and what you're feeling, because they are thinking and feeling the same thing because they love you so much, right? So that's how he follows you, with his love.
Thank you.
That's the end of your questions.
You have one more?
You have any more for me? Did I answer your questions in the way that you like? Right. So how would you grade me for answering your questions? Would you give me a A plus or a A or a B or a B plus? What's my mark today?
A plus.
Ah, thank you. Very sweet. So mom and dad, hello. I remember you from being at the Avyakti children's retreat here. And was it Yevaa who played the role of mama and gave us drishti?
Yes, she was part of the Trishti as well, yes.
Drishti as well, yes. I remember taking drishti from her. Yeah, very powerful. So
Om Shanti, Sister Gayatri.
okay.
Thank you so much for having us here. We are so fortunate. And one thing before my question, I want to say is I feel very fortunate. Yevaa is getting this knowledge at such a young age because I look at my childhood, right? And the power to discern, the power to choose, right, wrong, the power to choose, good versus bad. I think not buckling under pressure, how to handle pressure, which nowadays is very common with children. So I think, all those things which I remember from my childhood, I'm very happy, she'll take parts of knowledge from here, hopefully, and have them have a good life ahead. So thank you for that. And my question really is, particularly parent-child relationship, right? Father-daughter, and the attachment which comes with it. And I think, how does one bring like unconditional love and appreciation, uh, but also being detached? Is a sometimes a challenge, right, for me, as a father, particularly. And it's a philosophical argument, right? Your child versus, let's say, 10 million others, right? Whom would you choose? So, how do I uh, think about that and work on that?
Well, first of all, let me say, for my own growing up experience, there is a special bond between a daughter and a father. That doesn't mean it's any less special between the daughter and the mother, but I think it's a very different bond. And what I'm hearing you say is that there is a special bond that you have with this soul that you're a trustee of that is called daughter, Yevaa. And, once I was in front of Bab Dada, and I always saw myself, my primary relationship with Baba is father-daughter. And I used to be very, very, very skinny. Like I was 40 years old and I was 89 pounds, really skinny. And then he said to me something that came out of the blue, that I never expected. And he says, you have to gain weight. Now, imagine Baba saying that to me, you have to gain weight. And I was like taken back and I said, Baba, I've tried everything, but I'm not gaining the weight. And you have to bless me to gain the weight. So then he kind of looked and he continued. And then he came back and looked at me and said, Baba will bless you and you will gain weight. But then later on in the night, when he was giving me drishti just before he left, he said to me, Baba has pure attachment for you. And that really touched my heart when he said that. And I started, asking around, what does Baba mean by pure attachment? What does Baba mean by pure attachment? So the one I would go to, obviously, to get meaning to this would be Dadi Gulzar, right? Because I was very close to her. She was one of the first daddies I met. And when I want to open my heart, she was the one I would go to. And he said something beautiful that I think that would help you. What you have for her is pure attachment, and pure attachment means you're not imposing on her any of your unfulfilled stuff of your childhood. You are looking at her in her own right, but if there is a concern, you will express it and you will bring it to her attention without the fear of something going wrong with her. And so children, I think we as Baba's children need Baba to know us in ways that he feels free to tell us things that we need to hear. Because of his pure attachment to us, because of his pure sense of our well-being then. And he wants us to be aware that he's not just looking at us spirit to spirit, but he's also concerned about my age and my weight and my, not being able to take care of myself. So I think that because he said that, my relationship with him deepened, and I knew he had my back. I knew he was looking out for me. I knew that if I was swimming in that pool and my dad was there looking at me, I wouldn't be afraid of the water. I would be brave to swim because my dad is there and he would not make anything happen to me. And that is not because of attachment. That's because, as what Baba calls as pure attachment, it's a bond that is eternal in that relationship.
That's very helpful to know. And yeah, that I had somehow I had not heard this word pure attachment, but wisdom, but very, very, very helpful. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Shanti. So Ben, do you have any questions?
I do. Om Shanti. Firstly, Om Shanti Avyakti Parivar, and thank you so much for this beautiful opportunity given by Shiv Baba and beautiful instruments such as you and other instruments whom we have been in touch with to get on this opportunity. So again, thank you everyone. My question here is, especially given the busy schedule and in the career, I have a global role, so it's a pretty busy schedule. And given that Yevaa being a very, very picky eater, so especially in the evenings when it is her time for dinner, she's very particular about what is being given to her to eat. And if we add anything extra, such as carrots or peas, or if that is not what she wanted, she will not eat. And I'm trying to balance my patience as well as the time, because if I have to hop on another meeting call, I have given her 30 minutes time to work on eating. But most of the times it happens that I'm always rushed for my next meeting. So there is some irritability that does generate in me, and clearly this is I used to consider it as natural earlier, but that is not natural. I kind of switch immediately in a minute or two back to connecting with Shiv Baba and coming back to how I can manage this situation. But most of the time it is rushed. So I wanted to understand what is the way I can, as a parent, do a better job in managing my patients, as well as today's Murli, right? It was all about man manabhav, and it was also being unlimited. So how do I apply that unlimitedness in such scenarios? Would you have any examples that you can share, or your experience that you can share that can be applicable?
Mm-hmm. There's a saying that a family who eats together stays together. There's a special bond in when you take time out and at least one meal, you sit together outside of work, outside of business, outside of distractions, and you are together as a family, and you're eating together with a sense of being together, with a sense of unity, with a sense of harmony, with a sense of nothing else matters but the three of us at the dining table eating Brahma Bhojan. Now, what we eat, having said that, I would say to you, you take time out for one meal a day, whichever is the meal that Yevaa enjoys the most, and both of you are available. Be together as a family and eat that meal, being present for one another.
Right. And that's our evening time.
That's evening time. So you continue doing that. Secondly, you're eating Brahma Bhojan. You're not just eating a meal of peas and carrots. I don't like peas either, so I would have a problem if you put peas on my plate. So, you're eating Brahma Bhojan, and there is a Maryada that goes with the Brahma Bhojan. So it's not just you're cooking in Baba's remembrance, but you must also eat in Baba's remembrance. And that means you're sharing love with Baba, but you're sharing love with one another. And I think this was a discipline, when Sister Mohini was with us in Queens for a long time. I actually am with Sister Mohini since 1975. And when I came to New York, I was living in an apartment with her for many years. So from 1978 to 1982, actually, Sister Mooney and I shared a bedroom, and Sister Mooney and I shared the dining table. And one of the things she insisted we did was that we ate a meal together with her. So she would be at that dining table with us, and we would all eat together. And I think that that was one of the disciplines that was very meaningful to all of us, because we got to share time in a very unofficial way. So we could say whatever we wanted to say and to tell her about it. And then after we all cleaned up, and she would help us too, we would all clean up. So it was an activity that we did together that went far, way beyond the food on a plate. And the daddies also do it. In Madhuban, the daddies would eat together, no matter how late, they would eat together. And so I think this eating together is not an ordinary thing. It is something very meaningful, because they say the shortest way to a man's heart or a human being's heart is through the stomach. So that's physical, that's sure. But it's also the food. Not just that you feed one another with, but the way you enjoy it together. And I think that Maryada of Brahma Bhojan together is very, very good to bond you together, so that you grow together and you get to be with one another in Baba's love and remembrance. And that's what the food is doing. The food is nurturing us. Otherwise, it becomes an action of bondage, as you said. Just to feed her is you're creating a bondage, because you have impatience, irritability, you have your job to do. But no, you have to set aside time and treat it as sacred time to have Brahma Bhojan together.
No, that's absolutely beautiful and rightly said. I mean, we do have, that's what, like the 30 minutes has been set aside to have that Brahma Bhojan. But then if it is not her favorite food, then that's a big, there's a hue and cry there. So how do I manage that and ensure that she's eating healthy? So if I introduce any new vegetable and, say broccoli or some new vegetable, and in a typically Indian way, we make the sabzi, but also, she likes only simple, like, with salt and pepper. I put all of that, but still, if it is a different vegetable, so if it is not pasta, if it is, so every day we cannot just have pasta. Every day we cannot have just white rice. There has to be something else. So that patience is what I'm trying to understand. How do I manage it in that Brahma
Okay, so
Bhojan?
what I would say is that children go through phases. And she may be going through a phase that she only likes certain things. So I think give her the things she likes, because the important thing is that she eats. And then you cook the variety for you. You cook whatever, you want. But another thing I notice with children her age is if you ask them, what would you like mom to cook for you today? And whatever she says, she knows that you're also cooking that for Baba. So whatever she says, you cook it for her. And then as she grows up and as her tastes will change, she will automatically turn to other dishes that she wants to experiment with in terms of taste.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that it's always good to give children what they like, even though it may seem a little bit unhealthy, but once they eat it, it's good. And don't let food become medicine.
Yeah.
Don't let it be enjoyable for them. Let it be palatable, as the doctor would say. Give them things they like to eat. But of course, with caution, not too much sweets and stuff like that. But I think you ask her every day, what would you like to eat? I'm going to cook it for Baba.
Absolutely. I think you gave an answer which is of her liking for sure. Because that's what we ask, and then she will have only that one or two, food that she would like to have. But yes, that's what we are going through and giving her. But as you said, I mean, as age changes, her taste will also change. So we will definitely, keep on the ritual and the routine on with
That's
this.
right.
Well,
So,
this is
what
very
would you like
beautiful.
to eat tomorrow, Yevaa? What would you like Mom to cook for Baba tomorrow?
Pasta.
She's a pasta lover.
Correct.
Good. Okay.
Oh, do we have a minute? Yava, you wanted to.
Yeah. Ask.
Yeah,
Can
go
I
on.
do 1 minute meditation?
You will do the commentary. If I hold the drishti, will you do a little commentary for us? Yevaa? Okay, fine.
Disconnect of everything around you. Ask yourself a simple question. Who am I? I am the creator of every thought, of every word, and every action. I, the energy, point of light going upwards into the sky, crossing the sun, moon, and stars, reaching my sweet home, Paramdam. I get all the love, peace, and power from my dear Shiv Baba. I slowly give it to everyone who need it. Then I slowly come down in the center of the forehead. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. That was so beautiful. I hope it's recorded. It was so beautiful. Thank you so much.
She does that every morning, and she says good night to Shiv Baba every evening as well at night before she
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. Baba loves you so dearly, Yevaa.
sleeps.
Thank you,
Om
sis.
Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you so much.
Om Shanti, little angel. It was so nice to hear from you and also from your parents. And thank you, Sister Gayatri, for having such a wonderful chit chat with the little angel and with the parents. Thank you so much for coming to Avyakti Parivar.